All right, let's talk about sustainability. Everyone wants to lose fat fast. I hear it all the time. Fee, how can I lose 10 kgs in 2 weeks? I want to drop 5 stones in 3 months. Now, I'm not saying that fast weight loss, body fat loss, transformation, whatever you want can't happen. It can. If you want to lose your sanity, your muscle, and your will to live. Look, the real goal here isn't just to lose body fat. It's to keep it off. And that's where most people go wrong. Now, today I'm going to go through in this video how you can create a fat loss plan that actually is sustainable for you. Something you can actually live with, not just survive on. Let's start with the mindset, okay? First off, let's get one thing straight. Fat loss is not a punishment for what you've eaten in the past. It's a process of improving how you move, how you eat, and how you live, so you can feel and function better for the rest of your life. End of the day, if your plan feels like torture, if you dread every meal, if you're counting down the days till it's over, that's not sustainable. That's a crash diet, not a lifestyle change. Now, I'm not saying there's not a place for a crash diet, but what we're trying to talk about right here, right now, is lifestyle. Find a plan that you could realistically see yourself doing for the next 6 months. If there's something that you can do for 6 months, then realistically, if you're going to do it for a year, you'll be able to do it. And then multiply that by 5, you probably can do it, which means that the change that you make will be sustainable for the 6 months, the year, the 5 years, etc., etc. And then eventually it will just be life. Now let's cover the foundation here. You have to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose fat. That is just facts. There's no detox tea, there's no waist trainer, there's no magic food that gets around the fact that you have to be in a calorie deficit. There are different ways for you to put yourself in that calorie deficit. There are different tools and diets that you can follow that might make it a bit more easier. However, at the end of the day, it all comes down to a calorie deficit. Now, the size of that calorie deficit matters. If it's too big, pause. You'll lose weight fast, yes, but mostly water and muscle. You'll feel miserable, you'll be hungry, you'll be tired, and you're going to rebound hard because you've lost muscle, your metabolism got lower, which means you can't handle the same amount of food that you were handling before. And if you continue to lose muscle, then your metabolism gets slower and slower, it adapts, and you have to keep making that deficit bigger. Now, on the flip side, if it's too small, you probably won't see progress and you'll probably lose motivation. Now, the sweet spot for most people is probably around 20 to 25 below the maintenance calories. That's enough to get you the result, but not enough to ruin your mood and your energy. And that's supported by research showing moderate deficits preserve muscle and performance. Now, when you're in a deficit, protein becomes your best friend. It keeps you full, supports muscle, and prevents that skinny fat look when you're losing weight. Aim for 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kg of your body weight. Now, that can come from whole foods, eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken, fish, tofu if you're into it, etc. Or it can come from supplements if you need to have them. However, I would always say prioritize food over supplements any day. But at the same time, I'm not someone that's going to say don't have a protein shake if that's the only way you can get protein in to your diet at that time, or even a protein bar. Keep it simple, don't overthink it. Remember, we're looking at sustainability. Now, you don't need to go low carb or low fat. You need to find what helps you stay consistent. Carbs help to fuel your training, keep your energy up, and supports recovery. Fats keep your hormones stable and your brain working properly. Feel free to play about with the ratio. Now, some people naturally lean towards more carbs or do well on more carbs. Some people, more fats, but keep both in. Extreme restrictions equals extreme rebounds. Now, if you're trying to lose body fat without strength training, you are trying to push a car uphill. You're doing it the fucking hard way. Resistance training helps you to keep muscle on whilst in a deficit, burn more calories overall, improve your body composition, and helps to build your metabolism and keep it higher. Even just 3 to 4 sessions a week is enough. Studies show combining resistance training with a moderate deficit preserves lean mass and improves fat loss. Please don't just focus on burning calories, focus on building and keeping muscle. Now, here's something that a lot of people overlook. NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically, all the calories you burn, just living life. Walking, cleaning, fidgeting, moving around. I'm talking and my hand is doing this shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. It's like the hand out of Adam's family. Back to it. Small increases in NEAT can make a massive difference. Take the stairs, walk more, park further away, stand while you work. It all adds up. In fact, studies show NEAT can vary by over 2,000 calories a day between individuals. Now that's huge. Do the best you can for the day you have, okay? One of the biggest killers of fat loss is this process of all or nothing. You know them ones where it's like, raw, well, I had a bad meal, I might as well just, continue eating shit for the entire rest of the week or the weekend or whatever's left, and then I'll start back on Monday. No, motherfucker, you didn't ruin anything. You don't need to be perfect. In fact, perfection is bullshit. It's something that we chase, but we should never attain. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Imagine being 80% consistent for a whole month. That will beat someone who is 100% perfection for 1 week. And a lot of my clients would have heard what I'm about to say. Remember, one meal doesn't make you fat, just like one salad doesn't make you lean. Now, you can have the perfect diet on paper. However, if you're sleeping 4 hours a night and you're stressed out like a motherfucker, your fat loss will stall. Poor sleep increases hunger hormones like ghrelin and decreases leptin, the hormone that signals fullness. That's why after a bad night's sleep, you just crave junk food. It's hormonal, not just mental weakness. Do your best to prioritize 7 to 9 hours of sleep. manage your stress as best as you can, and hydrate properly. Those small lifestyle tweaks can make a massive difference. Now, a sustainable plan includes your real life. Meals out, birthdays, weekends, they're all part of the process. They're all part of your life, and you still have a life to live. You have a work life, you have a social life. Learn to manage them, not avoid them. You can roughly track what you're doing. You can choose smarter options, or on occasion, just fucking enjoy yourself and move the fuck on. If your plan doesn't allow a bit of freedom, you're not going to stick to it long term. Remember, 6 months, a year, 5 years. You mean to say you're not going to go for a birthday party in 5 years? You're not going to have a bit of birthday cake in 5 years? You're not going to have a drink in 5 years? Remember, the best diet is the one that you can stick to consistently. And I can tell you now, a personal experience, near the beginning of my weight loss journey, I made every one of those mistakes. I locked myself away like a hermit. I avoided all kinds of social events. I missed out on so many great times, and I took 3 months and I essentially starved myself. I didn't prioritize protein, did a shit ton of cardio. I did a tiny bit of resistance training. That was simply because I like training with weights, and I felt bad. I was hungry, I was tired, didn't feel great. However, I lost a shit ton of weight. So I know exactly what I'm telling you. And no, the way I did what I did there, that wasn't sustainable. What I'm doing right now, that's fucking sustainable because I'm doing everything that I'm telling y'all to do. I have fucked about with the speed of body transformations. And what I've learned is how I can apply that to people who need to do that. Example, an actor, or some of the rappers that I know and train, a sports person, some of the various models that I train that need to look good for a photo shoot. I know how to diet them in a few weeks or a few months. But then also I understand lifestyle. And that's where a lot of people kind of miss the point. They will see a lot of stuff from influencers and people on YouTube and Instagram Reels, TikTok, whatever. And they might be talking about information that is more aimed towards the people I've just spoken about. You know, your actors, your rappers, your models, your athletes, bodybuilders as an example. So when they talk about a certain diet, it sounds kind of extreme, but that's trying to get a bodybuilder up for being on stage or whoever for a moment in time. And then after that moment, they go back and they look normal, or they blow up and they bulk out, they eat a lot of food and they just gain loads and loads of body fat because all they cared about was looking good for that moment in time, that picture or that whatever, that scene or whatever. So they might take that information and try to apply it to themselves, but that doesn't work for the general population. And what I'm giving you here, this is general information for everyone to change the way they look, feel, perform. I hope that makes sense. So stop searching for the best diet. The best diet is the one that you can stick to. The best plan is the one that you can do forever without hating your life. Sustainability is key. Anyone can crash diet. That just takes willpower and being supported the right way. But it takes real discipline to build habits that last.